More news, more complaints about sex offenders living in neighborhoods with children in schools.
Now, I told you earlier this week how a predatory sex offender was found living in transitional housing near a Head Start preschool. He's no longer there. Well, tonight, we look into another viewer's concern that sex offenders are living near a Salem school. Our Lisa Balick is in Salem asking tough questions about sex offender laws.
That's what I'm asking here at the state capitol, where lawmakers just started their session this week. I got some answers today that parents will want to hear.
I don't want them nowhere near over here. We got little kids around. We don't need them.
Neighbors of this transition house tell me they haven't had any problems with those who live here, but they think it's wrong to have sex offenders living so close to families with young children. I also found out this temporary housing for drug, alcohol, and sex offenders who have served their time is just a couple of blocks down the street from the Oregon School for the Deaf, a K-12 school where kids live on campus. I wanted to know if the Union Gospel Mission that operates the transition house is aware that sex offenders are living so close to a school.
I guess the concern that these folks have, when you say these guys have nowhere to go, there are plenty of facilities that are not located near schools.
They told me the location is approved by the county and that the men have served their time and are supervised in the faith-based community housing program. None are predatory sex offenders, they say. As we reported earlier this week, Oregon has a general prohibition against allowing sex offenders to live near children. But we also found out the law says transitional housing is not subject to permanent residence requirements, meaning there's a loophole and sex offenders can live here right next to children. I headed to the state capitol with what we found out to see if the loophole can be closed.
Clearly, an issue's been raised. I've called a legislative council office to look at it to find out, yeah, we got some problems here we need to look at.
Senate President Peter Courtney told me while he investigates this, he's also got a bill this session to create a life sentence for sex offenders who prey on children.
That is a life sentence for an adult who's committed certain sex crimes against children and is predatory. They're going to be locked up for life, a life sentence. No other state touches that.
This is a copy of the Senate President's bill, and he tells me he has enough support here to get it moving. We'll be tracking what happens to this and also whether they make any changes here, whether sex offenders can live in your neighborhood. Live in Salem, Lisa Balick, KOIN 6 News.